Hashtag time travel. Let's meet again for the first time. This is Luis Martin, the art engineer, with the last Prompt Weekly. What happens next? Well, we time travel. We go back and we explore the 25 prompts that we have and find new meaning, new adventures, and we meet again. But before that, what happens next? So I'm gonna make a book out of all of these prompts and show some of the work that you've done. So if you haven't shared with me what you've done, please share so I can put it in the book and share all the magic that we've done as a community. I am so amazed at all of the work that people have been doing across the world, not only in the United States where I am, or not even in New York where I am, other states, in Australia, in the Netherlands, in France, in England. Whoa. I mean, this is a dream come true. And I've really received so much pleasure and fulfillment and purpose from this project, so thank you. I really appreciate you. Time travel. What is this all about? Time travel is such an amazing thing because time is not linear, my friends. Time is circular, right? Things come back, things leave, things come back again. So let's play with this idea. I'm gonna let you in a little secret. I am in intense pain at the moment with my back, but you can never tell because I'm doing something that brings me so much pleasure, and I'm time traveling to the moment of making art that I know I felt younger and full of energy. So I'm tapping into that. So when I talk about time and time travel, that's what I want us to do. Let's go back to those moments where we felt really riveted, like it was the first time to make art. So I did my homework. Come on over and I'll show you what I'm using to time travel. So in my deepest of hearts, this is who I think I am. I'm this mystical person traveling through the desert with a falcon. So I'm going to use this guy as my proxy, and he's going to be the me for the moment. Of course, I do not travel far from the tropics. Listen, this is one of my staple images, right? I identify with this to the core. So find your images that represent you to the core, right? It doesn't have to be a palm tree. Perhaps you're from the mountains. Maybe yours is mountains. Every collage of yours needs to have mountains because it's you. Ta-da, mountains. So find these images. When I think of eternity, when I think of time, I think of also ancient art, right? That even though it wasn't meant with me in mind, but it has all of the secrets to my past, right? So think about how we connect with the past in that way as well. Look at, oh my God, these are so gorgeous. So let's see where these take us. And of course, the birds, come on. The birds always carry messages of hope, of time, of connection, color blocking. Now listen, color therapy is real. I wear a lot of black, but anytime I'm around beautiful colors, it just lifts up your mood. That's why McDonald's has red, because it makes you hungry. That's why it has yellow, because it makes you hungry. So think about that. I just thought this was beautiful, so I bought this. This is just such a beautiful image. I couldn't stay away from this beautiful model who looks very Latina or Native American. Text, love the text. And this is just a really beautiful black and white image of people on horses traveling through time, migrating. So let's play. I'm gonna start with my proxy. And anytime you start with a black and white image, it's really an invitation to play with color, to play with ways of bringing in your own color to it, right? So it doesn't have to be anything too intense. Maybe I just want to outline the robe he's wearing. And maybe that gives it enough mystique or enough mystery to take me somewhere. And you know what happens when you add a little red to blue? 3D, you guys. It all of a sudden becomes 3D, right? Remember those 3D movies? It used blue and red. And I can't possibly go any further without saying hello to my cameraman. Hello, cameraman.
Hello, how are you today?
I'm great, thank you. So I really want to, as I'm doing this, I'm just really grateful. I want to thank, first of all, you, Elvis, for holding the camera and being so patient with these great adventures of fancy. And I also want to thank all of the great community that's shared their work with me. So let's keep making more. Okay.
I love that it's like a huge journey that you're taking us all through.
Thank you. Yeah, it really has become that, hasn't it? So this actually started through a conversation with someone in England who watches my videos on YouTube. Now, I had thought of prompts many times, but I just didn't think there was a need for it. But then Matt, who is a great artist, thought, you know, hey, you should do prompts. And I thought, all right, well, if Matt wants prompts, let's make some prompts. So this kind of started that way. And a lot of great things have started through conversations with my members, with members in the community. So, you know, if you're stuck, have conversations with other artists, have conversations with people that are aligned with the things that you do, artistically, creatively, spiritually. So this is all kind of stems from that conversation. And you don't have to reinvent the wheel. I mean, we didn't invent prompts. It just kind of gave me a person to think about, right? I'm like, oh, okay. I know Matt is there. I know that there's other people that are receiving these classes. So it's very much a collaborative endeavor and journey, really. All right, let's see where this guy. I always get so impatient when I start taking my proxies out of the paper. It's like, come on, they want to go play. Almost. And anytime you spend time cutting out intricate images, it always pays off. There's always some really great stuff that happens when you take your time to free them from the paper. So look at that. I mean, just even doing that creates a really interesting image. And we had this color block, right? I mean, I always want to stop in the middle of it. Just like, okay, we're done. But I have this. So one of my favorite techniques that if you haven't done is tearing, right? Try to tear. And as we're talking about me and my achy back, think about that, right? Sometimes people have limited mobility for whatever reason, because they're sore, because perhaps, you know, they just have different abilities. So think about how your art can accommodate that and how your art becomes part of that. And that's where part of your uniqueness comes from, right? So in time traveling, I also think about space, traveling through space. So let me make, perhaps these mountains can be juxtaposed.
You just made peaks on those mountains.
Yeah, isn't that cool? And then, of course, one of my favorite tools is the CD. If you guys have a CD or a bowl that you can use as a template, that will always be a nice thing to use to create a nice crisp edge once you've torn paper, right? Now I can use this or I can use this, so let's play with both. Oh, that's kind of nice. It almost looks like a crystal. Look at that. Oof. Okay, this is taking me somewhere special, you guys. Okay. And then I had this wonderful bird. Let's see if we can cut him out and see what he does for us. Maybe I just want his wings. So these prompts, well, art in general really, is an elixir. Hashtag elixir. That's one of our prompts in the past. It's an elixir. It cures your boredom. It cures your loneliness. It cures all of the things that make you feel disconnected. Because when we make art, especially in something like this where we're talking about prompts and doing it together, you feel connected all of a sudden. And really, I really do think that anytime we're afraid or bored, it's because we feel disconnected from everything that's wonderful in the world, right? So this is connecting us. Ah, how fun, you guys. All right, so let me see. Maybe he just wants to give us his wings. But that's kind of fun too. The options. Okay, that's beautiful. What else do we have here? And you know, I saved my scraps, and look at this. This was just waiting to be something, and look at that. It's something all of a sudden.
It's the perspective that gives the hummingbird more like bigger than life size, right?
Yeah, you're right. The play of scale, right? It's a really good point. Look at this face. It's almost, I'm almost tempted to replace this with this. And I like it because look, there's different colors, right? Anytime you can bring interesting contrasts, that'll make it really fun. So let's take this guy out. And if you don't know where to start, always just make your piles. Go through your magazines and clip out things, not because they mean something right away, just because they caught your eye. And that's just enough. Because that's how you discover your aesthetic. After you make your pile of things that moved you, you're like, oh, wait a minute. They all have something in common. And what that something in common is you. And all of a sudden, you have a style. Ooh, that was like 3D, right? It touched the screen. Oh, I love this. Okay, check this out. What if he's writing this mask? It almost feels like he's this person's thought. Ooh, we just got real deep, you guys. I love that. Perhaps you can use these mountains still. That's something, right? So I also have this. I also have these letters, you guys. I have this, and I love her hand, and I love her jewelry, obviously. But you know what? I think I'm going to commit to this for a second. Then I'm going to play with one of my new favorite toys, which is the Washi tape, and see what happens. Okay, so how fun is that? So sometimes you'll realize also that your collages start looking like each other, right? And that's perfectly fine. But a good question to ask is, how can I make this new? How can I make this fresh? And that's the whole thing about playing with time, right? Yes, we've been here before, but how can we change this to make it fresh or different, or bring in a new conversation that's current to our lives and relevant? Perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna keep him there. And I have this collection of washi tape that is driving me insane. And I love this. I love the neon. So what if, I think I'm gonna commit to that there. What if I make a little window? You know how I love windows. And the window, again, can be such a great metaphor for time travel, right? Elvis, if you could time travel right now, where would you go?
What time?
Mm-hmm. Could be any time in
Julius Caesar.
Okay, fun. You can be a Roman something or the other.
I'll be the Roman emperor.
There you go. I'll be the Roman cat. No, if I could travel through time, where would I be? I don't know. See how fun all of a sudden this kind of creates a throne or a window for this guy, and that really works. So let's commit to this guy here. Perfect. And we can even go further and, you know, give him some color. Look how fun that is. All of a sudden it looks kind of like a black and white image, right? That's been kind of brought back to life. So bring in your own colors. If you're a person of color, don't be afraid to give these black and white images your color, even though they're not originally your color. You know, it's a great way of kind of bringing yourself into the forefront. This is really fun. Actually, before I commit to that, I do have a U. This is from a sign from my gallery. I think it said my name. This is the U in Luis. So let's play with this. And isn't that fun? Because it has all this even more layered symbolism. Okay, see, sometimes I go a little premature, but it's okay. There we go. So anything is fair. So just grab your hand, put your hands, grab anything that you think can add to your work and play with it. So if you've been taking these classes and if you have some of these classes, I challenge you, invite you to perhaps revisit them in a different way with different materials. What if you take the hashtag circus and approach it as a painter or approach it as a dancer? What would that look like? I'm really excited to do that. I hope to do that as soon as I finish compiling our little book. Okay, that's cool. Oh yeah. That's really interesting. Talk about creating an archway, talk about creating a doorway through time. Look at that. So it all kind of just comes together, and it's nice to do your planning, you know, kind of like I did it by having my clippings ready, but that's the extent of my preparation, right? I don't want to dictate too much. Ooh, so as I was picking this up, it fell, and look at that. You want to play with time? The bird is in the shape of a calendar. We won't do that, but that's fun. Oh, look at that. Oh, you guys, I love that.
It's almost like the bird is puncturing that bubble.
Elvis, look at you. You're like a poet. He's like puncturing the bubble of time. Okay, we're gonna need to stop now, you guys. This is getting too real. And then of course, we have our fun dots. And again, this is part of my visual vocabulary that I use. So get yourself some dots if they move you and excite you. If not, find something that you can always rely on to kind of save the day, right? To me, the dots kind of represent constellations, and they activate space. And I also like to put them in a triangle. And I'll tell you why. It's a really stupid reason. I'm from LA. Don't tell anybody. And when I was a kid, there were a lot of gangsters, and they all had this little tattoo of 3 dots on their hands, which represented my crazy life. Mi vida loca, before Ricky Martin. So I thought, I don't know, I think it's a way of kind of, you know, coming to terms with something that maybe had a negative connotation. So that's always really fun. So you have all the power in the world to create new meaning to your life, right? And that's kind of fun because that reminds me of like Madonna or Marilyn Monroe. What else? Oh, guys, I think I'm kind of done here. So let me just look around. There's always that moment of like, okay, one more thing, right? So if at this point you're like, okay, I want a real symbolism of like continuity, right? What else represents time? So the circle, we have a circle. Also, you can freehand anything. It's kind of like drawing, right? Maybe I can draw an infinity sign, right? So as I'm doing this, I can hear a dog barking, and all of a sudden my old dogs come back, right? Like my dogs that we had many, many years ago. They're not with us anymore, but I find them in other dogs. I find them in other pugs, right? So that's time travel too, in the best way possible. So there we go. So that's kind of cool. It's a little choppy and messy, but listen, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Does it work? Not really, you guys. Oh, maybe it does. Let's see what's on the other side. Ooh, numbers. Again, that's kind of... Okay, this might mean something, you guys. I forget that this is on a calendar, and what else is more time travel than calendars, right? Because it's just the way we keep time. It's not necessarily the way time works. Oh, gee. I don't know if I like it. I love its meaning, but I don't know if I like it. So I'm going to take it out. So thank you, but no thank you. but maybe I will use these guys just to activate that space. You see how nice that looks? I had another one, I don't know what I did with it, but that's okay. Oh, here it is, thank you, Mr. Cameraman. Look at that. What else do we need, right? Okay, those are my finishing touches that I really needed. See how it activates the space? So think about that. And also, a good way to activate space is with handwriting, right? Look at this beautiful space over here that I can write something. I think this is my time travel collage. Why does it work? Well, the colors are harmonious. It has a lot of things that I've given meaning to, like this proxy that is now representing me. There's all of this wonder, and there's birds that fly, there's circular images that represent time, there's a nod to ancient art and the things from the past, right? So I love this. This is my time travel collage. Remember, you can time travel by taking any of our prompts over again. I chose this because we'll meet again, either by taking a class that you've already taken before or by going through collagedream.com and doing the new things that we're doing. But if you just take this class over and over, I am always here. So I am super excited, and I hope that you found curiosity, freshness, and community in our prompts. This is Luis Martin reminding you that there is much adventure in this collage dream. Until we meet again, ciao!